Aloha gang, Dr. Russ Rosen here. Welcome to the 𝘁𝐶 System Community Masterclass at the ranch. I was asking if anybody was out there, and I had typed in here in the comments, let me know if you are here. And it didn't show up here. And then when I got done and I went and I reposted blah, blah, there was a whole bunch of people that commented that you were there and I wasn't commenting. So if you are there, go ahead and comment. If I don't comment, it's because I don't see it, just so you know. Okay, so I'm really clear that we all want to be able to grow our practices and serve as many people as possible, help as many people as possible, get the best results we possibly can, get home feeling good, not feeling wiped out. And many of us get really frustrated because no matter how hard we try, we work really hard, we grow the practice, and then it drops. And then we grow it and it crashes. And oftentimes we just don't know why. We don't get it. We can't figure it out. So many of us have heard the term roller coaster, and that's what it's like, right? So the practice grows and then it crashes and it grows and it crashes. And every time it crashes, it sucks the life out of us. It just takes the wind out of our sail. And it's really, really difficult to get the practice back up again. Now, there are very specific things that we can do about that. And today I want to review some specific concepts that I think are going to help a lot. Number one, I have a tremendous 6-page article on this subject where I go into extreme detail of exactly how it happens and what we need to do about it. So this article is called Practice Growth and the Weakest Link. Now the premise is really simple. Make space and fill it. Reorganize and make space and fill it. So I often talk about this Kaiser down the street from me where I've had to go, unfortunately, a bunch since I moved out to California with different injuries and surgeries and all kinds of nonsense. But I'm always amazed at their processes, that they're always on time. I mean, they are right on time. The nurse, man, they all do, it's just a perfect systems, perfect setup. Now, they probably see 3,000 to 4,000 people a day, I would assume, from the numbers that I see there. How do they do that without crashing? How do they do that without running behind? Well, it's the systems. If you've been through all these master classes, we've talked a lot about the systems, okay? But this specific piece is looking at these bottlenecks. I call them GPUs, or growth potential units. And they're bottlenecks that are keeping us from being able to grow the practice and have sustained growth, okay? As I've said before, many of us have experienced a roller coaster, and in essence, what happens is we hit our head against a glass ceiling. So imagine there's a 10-foot ceiling, but at 9 feet there's glass, and you don't see it, and you're going up to get up to the ceiling, and you bang your head against the glass because you can't see it. Well, most of these growth potential units are things that we're not aware of. They're things that we can't see, so we keep bloodying our head on this glass ceiling. So the reason, let me see, okay, so just think of these growth potential units that I'm going to go through in just a second as links in a chain. And you are only as strong as your weakest link. And every practice in the world has a weakest link. Some of them are just so strong that it never ever gets affected, right? It doesn't cause the practice to crash. That's what I want for you. I want you to, all of your links to be strong enough to keep you at the level you want, to grow to the level that you want without having crashes, without having stress, without running behind, etc. So what are these GPUs? 8 of them. There's 8 of them. And again, don't worry about taking notes. I have a 6-page article on this, goes into extreme detail. about this. Number one is staff and teamwork. I see this all the time where you've got either the wrong staff in the wrong positions, or they don't understand your philosophy, or they don't understand how to do their job, or they don't really want to be there, but they can crash your practice. I've talked about this before. I was at 80 a day. I went to 40 a day. I couldn't figure out what was going on until a great patient of mine said to me, dude, I can't come into your practice anymore. You know, your front desk gal, she's just such a bitch. I can't do it. And you've lost a lot of people. So like that can happen. So staff and teamwork. Number two, treatment time or care time, the amount of time that you're spending per person. There's a whole lot to this. I coach doctors that spend an hour a person. I coach docs that spend a minute a person. All I care is you're spending the amount of time that you want to spend, but that you're spending the right amount of time to get the results that you want to get. And you're not spending extra time because you're afraid to spend less time, because you're afraid they'll think that they won't value it. It's just not true. You just don't know how to do that. And that you stay on time. Number three, scheduling. Scheduling is such a critical and important piece of the puzzle. We'll be talking about that more in just a bit. Practice systems. There are 5 systems that we look at: headspace and personal growth, belief system, certainty, everything between the ears. Number 2 is how to run a business and build a dream team. We've already been through this. Right? Number 3 is communications. We've been through that. We'll be diving back into that in 2 weeks, starting in certainty and communications again. Number 4 is marketing, and number 5 is flow and growth, which we're going to talk about today. We need to make sure that we have enough space and equipment, right? So oftentimes our practice is growing to the place where finally we just don't have enough space. We would have to move, or we would need more equipment, or we have, we have this kind of table in this room, but this kind of table in this room, and we need this one in both rooms. So by the time we get to this room, we have to go do a drop on them or something, and we have to go to the other room. So there's all kinds of things with space and equipment. Just for fun, I went from, I think it was 4,600 square feet or 4,000 square feet to 845 square feet, and I did the most volume. I was seeing 120 a day out of 845 square feet. So for most of us, we can really get away with not a whole lot of space. If you're doing a whole lot of therapies, a lot of neurofeedback, PMF, shockwave, that kind of thing, you need more space. It is what it is. The next one is marketing. Obviously, you got to be able to bring in the right kind of people. Pricing. Are you pricing yourself out of the marketplace? Are you underpricing and undervaluing yourself? And then self. There's so much to self. So those are the 8 GPUs that I go through in extreme detail, and I'm not going to go into any more with that right now. But if you go ahead and put below articles, I will send you the 2 articles. So the 2 articles are the that one, which is going to help you break through your limitations, and then the other one called System to Sustain Practice Growth, and that one is to allow you to keep the momentum going. So if you'll put below articles, I will send you those. Okay. Now, what I want to do right now is I want to read through some of the questions that I have in our questionnaire. So if you join our learning center, or you do one-on-one coaching with me, I have you fill out a 240 question questionnaire. If you're in the learning center, I do a video report to you. If you're working with me one-on-one, we go through it together and we clarify in your 5 systems where are the weak points. Now, the reality is for you to reorganize, make space, and fill it, reorganize, make space, and fill it, reorganize, make space, and fill it, you must look at all 5 systems, okay? I will also send you that questionnaire. It's killer. It'll really help you start to figure out where your weak links are. But today, all I want to do is I want to read through some of the questions in System 5, which is flow and growth. Okay, So the way that I have seen this, and I've been coaching docs since 2000, so I've coached literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of doctors. I don't know if it's in the thousands, but I believe so. Who knows? Um, but I can promise you that you can have growth at a 45-degree angle. It will look like a sine wave. There will be ups and downs because that's how life is. There are pendulum swings. There's left, right, up, down, good, bad. We're in a polar world right here, right? So the sine wave will go up, but it can go up at a 45-degree angle. We don't have to have this. We don't have to have big spikes and big crashes, but you must be building the system. You must be fixing the weak links ahead of time, right? You can drive from California to New York at night and your headlights only go up 200 feet or 200 yards, 200 feet. And you can make it there. You just got to clean up the problem that's ahead of you, right? So people ask me all the time when they fill out this questionnaire, do I have to get all of this working right before I'll see growth? Not at all. You just need to get the next thing working right and you will see growth. And then the next thing working right and you will see growth. Okay. So this 5-system questionnaire will really help you out. But right now, all I want to do is take a look at this one, which is system 5. So here are some of the questions. I'm just going to read them through. You can, put in articles below and I'll send it to you. And then you can go through all 5 systems. But these are things to think about as far as flow and growth goes. Number 1, I am happy with the number of people that I can see per hour. Really important question with the type of practice you want to run. I have people that tell me all the time they want to see, 300 a week, but they spend an hour per person, right? It ain't going to work. So you got to be clear about that. I have enough space and there's a good flow in my office. Again, important piece of the puzzle. I have enough equipment in each room. We had just talked about that. My appointment book is mocked up in advance. This drives me crazy. I see this all the time. I mean, all the time. Doctors will tell me, I'm just picking a number, right? They'll go, I want to see 50 a day, but I'm really, really packed at 25 a day. And we do the math and we go, well, how much time do you spend a person and visit 1 and 2 and blah, blah, blah. They could see 50 a day. But when I look at their appointment book, they're not pre-scheduling out times for new patients and reported findings and re-eval and re-reports. They're not cluster booking for their regular adjustments, okay, or their regular, treatments or whatever it is that they're doing. So when I ask them to really do that ahead of time, I get all this resistance, and then they finally do it. And we see that the reality is they have enough space for 50. Problem is they're busy, it's full at 25. And the reason is, let's just say that you see 3 people every 15 minutes, okay? So let's see that you've got someone at 9 a.m., someone at 9:15, someone at 9:30, and someone at 9:45. Okay, and let's say you could see 3 people every 15 minutes, 5 minutes a person. So let's say that your visit 1 and visit 2 is 20 minutes. Well, I've got 4 people during that hour, and there's no room for a new patient or a report of findings, right? Whereas I could have just put 3 at 9 and 1 at 9:15, and then I could have had a new patient and a report of findings, right? So really important piece of the puzzle. I cluster book, stay in the zone. I have plenty of room for special appointments, new patients, reported findings, etc. It's very convenient for my patients to come and see me the hours that I work, right? If you want to see, moms, probably after 6 o'clock at night isn't so great. You probably want to get them right after dropping kids off at school, lunchtime, right after picking kids up from school. If you want to see a lot of the people in your area that work in the area, it might be right after work. So you got to have very convenient times for them to see you. I utilize my staff to the optimum. My staff can do pre-consultations. They can do part of the report of findings. They can help out with the reeval. They can do all kinds of things if we'll just train them, right? We have modules on all of that of how to do that. I'm uninterrupted by staff and phone calls, etc. during my patient hours. I easily get in the zone and stay in the zone so I can be the magician that I need to be for my patients, and I can just focus on their concerns. So many of us are checking our phones, checking emails in between. If we have a moment, our staff comes in and bothers us with things. In my world, if you don't, my staff knew, in fact, my wife knows, if you don't smell smoke, don't bother me, right? If the place is on fire, I need to know about it. Other than that, do not bother me, because getting into the zone and staying in the zone is the most important thing. That's where magic happens. And all it takes is one email, one text, one from your staff. Oh, can you just answer this for me, to pull you out of the zone? All of a sudden, you're slogging through quicksand. I'm completely organized. I never feel rushed. Really important piece of puzzle. No way to get and stay in the zone if you're rushed. We have systems in place for everything. That's all 5 systems. There are very specific things. I call them on task and off task. The on task things are things staff have to do when patients are there. And then there are off task things they can do when patients aren't there. So maybe billing and collections, or reconciling the bank statement, right? I don't want to do that and be answering the phones and talking to people. I'll just never ever get it done. I'll make mistakes. But I got to make sure that I don't have a staff member that needs to be doing 2 on task things at one time. Like I got to be answering the phone and doing a consultation, right? And I know this sounds stupid. You're going, well, duh, trust me. When I talk with docs, most have challenges with this kind of stuff. And when you fix it, all of a sudden there's flow and things work. Utilize my staff. I'm happy with my office hours. Again, God, I see this all the time. I just don't think you should be working more than 24 hours a week. I think that if you're going to be 100% present, read the book, The Power of Full Engagement. On this subject. It's just too many hours to be able to stay that present. I promise you can see more people in less time getting better results and have a balanced life if you understand those particular concepts. Again, that book is The Power of Full Engagement, which is a really good book. My technique is congruent with my practice goals. Again, you want to see 100 people a day and you need an hour a person, it's not going to work. If you do reports, if you do insurance, and make sure that they're not building up, right? When they need to be done. You have days and times to work on those. You've got automated ways. You're not writing a new report every time, but you've got some software that's helping you do it. You've got reminder systems in place for, re-evals and re-reports and those kinds of things. Don't let things fall through the cracks. Patient misses a visit. What happens so they don't fall through the cracks? We have to have systems in place for all of that. I effectively manage my staff. We went through that. Remember, we're not going to micromanage. We're not going to manage by application. We're going to manage by objectives. And we use the whole business frame, right? We went through that in the master class on, I think it's called Business Frame. My team is fully trained. They understand our philosophy. They're on board. They want to grow the practice. We look at board stressed in the zone. They're all ready to rock and roll. They're not stressed. If so, we got to reorganize and make more space, right? If we do deal with insurance companies, we understand all the nuances of the insurance companies. So we're doing everything above board, right? That can suck the life out of us. We have personal training manual and training video on everything. So if a staff member has to leave, they're gone, bring somebody else on. We've got a way to train them. We all stay in the zone. We get in the zone. We stay in the zone. We have plenty of space to grow without putting any of our team members in stress. Really important piece of the puzzle. We're very clear at what stage are we at today, right now, this week. Where are we at? Are we in a reorganizational phase, or are we in a growth phase? right? And it's very important that we all understand that. We always run on time. You get very clear about what on time means for you. For me, it means patient doesn't have to wait more than 5 minutes. That's what it means for me. For my really good friend on Maui, it's 45 minutes. He thinks running 45 minutes behind is fine. I think it's horrible. I hate it when I go see him, and I do go see him, and he's always 45 minutes behind. You want people to regularly see you, run on time. Can you run on time? Yes. These are the things that you have to fix. So if you would like the 2 articles, if you would like the 5 system questionnaires, just go ahead and I'm just seeing if anybody commented. Nope. Just go ahead and comment below articles, and I will send you the 2 articles and the questionnaire. If you know people that you think would benefit from this, would you please let them know about this free community? And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. As always, I get back with you. And I hope that helps a bunch. Next week is an off week. I'm going to be working on a new webinar I'm coming up with. I'm so excited about. Look, we're in a whole new world right now with Kennedy at HHS, and there's going to be unfathomable demand for true optimal healthcare practices. There's going to be more demand than we could ever handle. Do you want to step up and be a leader? And that's what that webinar is going to be on. And we'll be going actually through the 5 systems. So hope that helps a bunch. As always, much love and aloha.